It's time for our special series on Storyboard, where we are looking to understand how companies are using digital technology and data analytics to serve their customers better. From retailers to e-commerce companies to insurance companies and automakers, marketers across industry sectors are increasing the use of data analytics. Today, ideacellular's Navneet Narayan joins us to explain what telecommunications companies are doing. Ideacellular, with over 120 million subscribers, is the third largest mobile service provider in India. Navneet, good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Now, the question is that in your business, hyperactive, volatile, and where customer loyalty has really been tested ever since mobile number portability came in, how has data analytics helped you, let's say, starting by retaining your customers?
See, in our business, when we have large number of customers, I think it's very important to understand different segments of the customer. And we may not have all the time very good profile of the customer. Because we have grown over the last decade plus. So what we're looking for is use analytics to understand what a customer is using the mobile phone for. In our industry, we know the customer is with us throughout the day, right? He's latched on to us 24/7. So we know exactly what he's doing with the phone. Who is he? Where is he calling? Is he into a voice? He's looking at a voice service or texting or data. Is he calling locally? Is he calling internationally? Is he calling in the country? Which part of the country?
So you have masses of data that is getting generated in any case because of the nature of the business.
Right.
So how do you start using that to, go after different, either to acquire new customers or to hang on to the ones you have, or to get the ones you have spend more, because that is the whole game, isn't it, to sort of maximize revenues from each user?
It is, and I think, with the amount of data, I think that's a very important point. We have billions and billions of records of data, right? It's very difficult to sift through it and make some meaning out of it. So what we have done is we have an analytics team which is looking at all the data that we have, slice and dice the data and see what is relevant to us and what do we understand of the consumer, how is he using our service, and based on that, what we have done is we have done micro-segmentation. So instead of 120 million customers with A or 2 or 5 profiles that we had, we have micro-segments. So we look at consumers on their usage and create segments. Based on segments, we look at what do we need to offer them. So what is the customer looking for? If there's a consumer, let's say in Kerala, and the consumer is calling back home in Bihar or UP East, now what can I offer the consumer? Can I offer him something which will help him to use our services and call back home and speak to his family, which is hundreds of miles away from where he is? So I think that's the kind of segments we are trying to create and address the segments through new services. So that is from a current customer. Also from a servicing perspective. Every consumer is not the same.
Absolutely.
Right? Now, how do I differentiate customers? So what we do is we look at the different segments of consumers and understand how they like to be serviced. Because consumer doesn't want just the network that we provide. He wants also service beyond that. If he has a product need, if he has any problem, how do I ensure that he gets great service with the least inconvenience to the consumer? So I think it's both from a customer loyalty and service perspective, and as well as providing offers and products which really suit these segments. So that's the kind of work we have done.
So are you saying that you're actually seeing the power of the individual customer at work as a result of so much data and the ability to analyze that data? Is the customer now really king? I think that's the other way of putting it.
Well, I think it's a long way to go. From this large data, consumers being into large segments, we have brought it down to this small segment. I think the ultimate goal is to bring it to an individual level. And that's really what we'd like to do. I think it's a work in progress, and we'll definitely like to be there where for each individual consumer I can say he or she is making a call. Let's say a customer is calling every Saturday at 12 o'clock to Sri Lanka. So can 11 o'clock I make an offer to the consumer so that he or she benefits from that information that we have and the offer we make to them.
You think that's an optimal way to go, or is that the way things are right now?
It's not yet there. We are still into smaller segments. We still group consumers together because we still have a large number, and we are still trying to see how we can use analytics and the tools that we have to make these segments. But the ultimate goal is to bring it to individual level.
How does this end of what you do sort of combine with what the advertising and the brand development and that team does? How do you align what you guys are doing? Because what you're doing is actually touching the customer individually almost, and those guys are creating the look, touch, feel of the brand and the marketing of the brand in that sense.
Well, there are two parts of the brand. One is the brand that you see, and that's what the brand team does. They are trying to create the idea brand, make it stronger. What is idea all about? What the idea stands for? And the second part of a brand, and that's true for idea brand as well, is what's the quality of service that the experience of the consumer is. Because that's how you build the brand. And I think that's what we are trying to do. Is with the superior service that we provide to the consumer, we are able to build a stronger attachment to the brand for the consumer. So I think that's what we are trying to do.
Right. What are the challenges in this area? Because currently everybody wants to invest or is trying to invest in using data analytics to sort of fine-tune their their marketing efforts and their customer engagement programs. What are some of the challenges you think?
Well, the challenges are, I'd say, three. In our case, the vast data that we have. So how do you use technology to manage the large data? Number two is the skill set. To manage the data, to understand it, to slice it, to dice it. And third is the technology that we bring in, which is the optimal technology that can be used to look at the data. So from a pure analytics perspective, I think these are three important parameters. And beyond that, I think is how can we develop better services, better products, which can really, really make a lot of meaning to the particular segment. So I think that's the fourth.
And that's also a goal, isn't it? To reach that level of customization.
It is.
Right. Okay, Navneet, thanks so much for coming into the Storyboard studio and talking to us. And with that, it's a wrap on this show. But join us again next week for another conversation on how marketers are using digital technology and data analytics. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Navneet.